Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening, Dewan.
Hi, good evening, Doctor.
Hi, how are you today?
Good.
Good, all right. Okay, Wei Bao, how are you?
Yes, thank you. I'm fine.
Fine. Okay, Dang Xuan, how are you? Zhang Yun Kun, Li Jingyu.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah. I hope everyone is fine. Is it already dark in China?
Yes,
All right, it's already dark. Hi. All right. So for today, we're going to talk about data analysis. Yeah. And I believe that you have been through the previous topic. Yeah. Like qualitative, and you're supposed to know, have some basic background knowledge on qualitative before you could go on to this topic. All right. Okay. So I'd like to share the slide right now. So I'm sharing the slide right now. Okay. Good evening, everyone. So this is a online workshop for international students, and the international students here are from China. Everyone is very enthusiastic to learn about qualitative, and we have gone through to this part, the to how to analyze qualitative data. For tonight, so we're going to start with manual data analysis. Yeah, manual data analysis. So we're going to spend about 3 hours. Uh, there are some, lecture and discussion, and there are some interesting activities as well. Yeah, so you need to be ready. And okay, analyze qualitative data manually by me, Dr. Ezi, or Dr. Ahmad Zamri Mansur from Faculty of Education, UKM. All right, so before we go to the actual step that you have to take in order to analyze your data, this is the overview of the data analysis process. All right, this is the overview first. All right. Okay, in order to, okay, so this is the understanding that we must have, regarding the data analysis. On the left one, in the green box, it is about qualitative. On the right one, in the red box, it is quantitative. Can you see the difference between the two? Yeah, for the quantitative is numerical comparison. So everything is about numbers, 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 and numbers. Yeah. So you need to make comparison. You need to measure. Yeah. And from the measurement, you will be able to interpret the data, and you will be able to visualize the data. Yeah. So you could analyze through the use of percentages, mean, and so on. There are many things that you can do for quantitative. What about the qualitative one? The qualitative is different because it is non-numerical, okay, which means that you need to analyze the description, and the description is normally non-numerical. Yeah, for example, through words, what people are saying, what your respondent or what your research participant are saying. So you could analyze that, or through your observation, everything that you see with your very own eyes. All right, so those are the data, those are the things that you need to analyze. And how to analyze it, so this is the tricky part. So we must generate the theme. The theme is just like to summarize, but it is more than summarizing. Yeah. Okay, from 2 hours of conversation, how you could make it in, for example, 5 sentences. Yeah, so that's summarizing. That's how to generate teams. And in order to support the team, later you need to include quotations from the participant. Yeah, okay, from the participant. So there must be some quotation from them So with that quotation, we are able to support the teams. All right. All right. So that's basically the overall understanding that everyone should have regarding the differences between the two. And now we are concentrating this on the green box. Yeah. The qualitative using the teams and supported by quotations. But the question is how to generate the team. All right. So normally, I think most of the time we do using software. Okay, it is a software called NVivo, and we can use NVivo in order to analyze. But because uh, we would like you to have the understanding how the coding is done, so we're gonna start with the manual first. Yeah, manual analysis. Okay, next one. All right. So this is what findings looks like. It is very, very different. The team supported by quotation. Just to give you some idea. So this is a paper, and in the paper, under the finding section, so this is the team. All right. Common strategies to learn about breast cancer. So there are teams here. Teams, the teams are listed here. And then okay, then after the theme is listed, it will be supported by quotation. For example, this one. Yeah. All right. Okay. Now comes the questions. The question is how to make sense of your data. How to make sense of your data. All right. How do I summarize and make sense of all these words? You know. So when you do the transcribing, yeah, do the transcribing, you're going to get a lot of data, just like this. So you see the connection from the codes become the categories, from the categories becomes patterns, from the patterns becomes themes. All right. So interconnected could lead to categories, categories lead to patterns, patterns lead to themes. All right. Okay, so how to analyze your data? Yeah, how to analyze the data? So you have first interview, okay, and you do the recording, otherwise you cannot transcribe. All right, so why it is important to code qualitative data? Yeah, because coding qualitative data makes it easier to interpret informant responses. Yeah, so so we do it systematically. We go through each of the paragraph. Okay, sometimes we read it many, many times to make ourselves familiar. Yeah, to make ourselves familiar with the data there. Yeah. Okay, assigning codes to words and phrases in each response help capture what the response is about. All right, so this we summarize, but the way to summarize is following the systematic steps. We don't just think about it and then we will come up with the summary. So we have to make sure that there are phrases that represent that label. Okay, it also helps you to better analyze and to better summarize. Yeah. Researchers use coding and other qualitative data analysis process to help them make data-driven decisions. All right, so after this is going to be uh, something factual, something systematic, because you have come up with the code, and then code will become teams, and teams will become major findings of your research. All right. So how to manually code qualitative data? Okay. So you just have a look at the steps here. First is to choose whether you're going to use deductive or inductive coding. Yeah. So I'm going to show you. the difference between the two, there is an approach called deductive coding, and the other one is inductive coding. Yeah, inductive coding is you do from the scratch. You have your data, you have the interview transcript, and then you read it many times, and after that you can do the coding. Yeah, but for the deductive one, you need to determine the code first, right? Okay, and you create list of codes, and you're going to put that in code books, and after that, only after that you analyze the data. And when you analyze your data, you have with you the code book, so you use that as your reference. Okay, so number two, read through your data to get a sense of what it looks like. Okay, and then assign your first set of codes. So that's the first one. Yeah, so you must read through your data, make sure you understand, get yourself familiar with your data, and then easier for you to do the next step after that. Okay, so the first one, assign your first set of codes there. Number three, go through your data line by line. All right, so you really have to go, because in the first stage before, you have gone through holistically, which means that you skim through and then you get some idea what uh, 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 you know uh, 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 the holistic picture of the view of your participant. Okay, read through your data to get a sense of what it looks like, and then assign your first set of code, and then go through your data line by line, see line by line, which means that you have to be very careful. Otherwise, you might overlook some of the important information. Okay, so you have to go line by line to code as much as possible, and then your code should become more and more detailed at this step. Yeah, all right, so you get the code, and after that, from the code you categorize your code, and then figure out how they fit into your coding frame. Yeah. All right. Okay. So everything is basically driven by your research question. So you need to make sure it is within the research questions. Otherwise, it will become too much for you. There are too much data and you get stuck there. You don't know what to do. Yeah. So you must make sure that you are driven by research question. Look only for research questions. Yeah, the ones that guides by research questions. Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of data. Okay, number 5, to identify which teams come up the most and act on them. Okay, because it um, come up most of the time, it means that it is really important. So you need to highlight that in your research. Yeah. So put that as number 1. Yeah. The numero uno, number 1, because very important. Most of the time, your research participant discuss about it. So this means very dominant. What about room number 1?
Okay, let me share my screen.
All right. Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, that's good. Yeah.
The 4 is quick feedback.
Mm-hmm.
The 5 is identify my weakness and improve my research ideas.
All right. Okay. So that's good. This example of what you could do. Okay. But for the third one, I think you could make it easier. Train me to master the knowledge. Um, yeah. You can make it shorter, but if you couldn't find any word, that will do. All right. Yeah. So these are basically the things that you can do if you are asked to do the manual coding. Yeah, but now because we have software, the NVivo, we can use NVivo in order to capture all the data. All right, but it is not automatic. You yourself have to identify, but after that it's going to be easy because the data will be kept and then you easy for you to retrieve. It doesn't mean that everything will be done by software. All right. Okay, thank you very much. Room number 1. Okay, now we go to room number 2. So
Yes.
all right. All right. Okay, finally we have it. All right. Okay. Okay, have a look at the yellow one.
Yeah.
Yes, yellow one is expertise. All right. And then the blue
Yes.
one,
Yeah.
the blue one, achievement. Yeah, that's right. Achievement. Okay. And then the purple one is expectation. Yeah, expectation. I think expectation you could extend to the end of the paragraph. The next sentence, that will be the purple too. Yeah. And then, yeah, and then the experience, yes. Yeah, experience. And then the red one is the feedback, and then helpfulness, and then writing feedback. All right, so that's basically, so you have done great. So this is the basic of manual coding, yeah. And the next step will be for you to, to collect all the codes and then try to think of connection. I've been doing this with international students. Yeah, like basic methodology and then qualitative. I don't do the quanti one because I'm in qualitative, but yeah, I can do the basic methodology and also proposal defense. So this the stage probably in 1 or 2 semesters you're gonna have that. So I have courses to in order to write chapter 1, 2, 3, and yeah, up until 3 only. Yeah. And for the proposal defense, so chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. Yeah.